coming up today on Good Morning BU.
The government shutdown has now reached its 24th day, making it the second longest shutdown in U.S. history.
A new professor and biomedical engineer at BU has been elected to the National Academy of Medicine.
A Massachusetts native won the International Chopin Piano Competition on Monday.
The Women's Professional Baseball League announced its 4 inaugural teams for its debut season, including one team right here in Boston.
And for a live in-studio interview, BU Outing Club has the scoop on the best hikes around New England.
Live from Studio West in the College of Communication, Good Morning BU starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Good Morning BU. I'm Natalie Lett.
And I'm Joanna Malvis. Here are today's top stories. President Trump has announced new sanctions on 2 of Russia's largest oil companies after a canceled meeting in Budapest with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
They're massive sanctions, and sanctions on oil. The 2 biggest oil companies, among the biggest in the world, but they're Russian. They do a lot of oil. And hopefully it'll push, hopefully he'll become reasonable, and hopefully Zelensky will be reasonable too. You know, it takes 2 to tango, as they say.
These sanctions build upon others that were imposed by European Union leaders, which serve to push Russia to negotiating and ending the war with Ukraine. All union leaders will continue discussing ways to support Ukraine's peace efforts and bolster defensive measures. While Putin has explicitly stated that these sanctions will do very little to the Russian economy, oil prices have sharply risen due to the supply limit.
Continuing with presidential updates, a 3-judge panel overturned Oregon's lawsuit that was trying to stop Trump's attempt to deploy the National Guard in Portland. In a 2-1 ruling, a panel on the 9th Circuit of Appeals issued a stay on the lawsuit, allowing Trump to move forward with the deployment in Portland.
I looked the other night, Saturday night, Portland is like burning to the ground, and these people are saying, it's just friendly stuff. The whole place is burning to the ground.
Trump's efforts to utilize the National Guard follow previous deployments in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C.
The current government shutdown has now reached day 24, making it the second longest shutdown the U.S. government has ever experienced. This shutdown began after Democrats and Republicans were unable to reach an agreement on federal healthcare policy spending levels. Senate Democrat Minority Leader Chuck Schumer reassured Americans that the fight for health care will continue.
Look, the bottom line is, as I said, our guarantee is to the American people that we're going to fight as hard as we can for their health care, plain and simple.
Just yesterday, the Senate announced they were unable to reach a majority on GOP-backed measures that would have paid employees during the shutdown. This includes air traffic control, border control, and military members, amongst other quote-unquote essential government workers. However, the Democratic Party argues it is unfair for President Trump and his cabinet to decide who is worthy of pay. Neither side has been able to reach the majority of 60 votes, leading the Senate to extend the shutdown into the next week.
Massachusetts is also feeling the effects of the shutdown, with the state saying SNAP benefits might be in jeopardy. Our live correspondent, George Lehman, has more from the Massachusetts State House. George, what can you tell us?
That's right, Natalie. Good morning. And the state is saying that SNAP benefits could stop by the end of next week if federal funds are still frozen by the ongoing government shutdown in Washington. Now, Governor Maura Healey told reporters on Wednesday there's no way that state funding can cover food stamps in Massachusetts, and called on President Trump to unfreeze federal funds for food stamps. A report from the Greater Boston Food Bank and Mass General Brigham says that about 2 million adults living in Massachusetts and over 1 in 3 residents face food insecurity in 2024. Healey says she is working with her anti-hunger workforce to figure out a solution ahead of November within about a week and a half from now. From Good Morning BU, I'm George Lehman, and back to you in the studio.
Thank you, George. A federal investigation into alleged gambling scandal has led to the arrests of several NBA players on Thursday, including former Boston Celtics player Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. FB Director Kash Patel called the alleged scandal a, quote, insider trading saga for the NBA. Billups, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2024, was indicted for his alleged role in a year-long poker scheme linked to a prominent organized crime group. Rozier is alleged to have deliberately removed himself from a 2023 game to enable a co-conspirator to place a winning bet. Both of the players have been put on immediate leave and are now banned from the NBA. Arraignment hearings for the Billups, Rozier, and others involved are expected in New York this week.
In Paris, police seemingly have their first big lead in this past weekend's $102 million jewel heist at the Louvre Museum. Investigators found DNA traces on a helmet and glove that were left behind by the thieves, which could identify those who are responsible. The robbery happened in broad daylight inside the museum's Apollo Gallery, where jewels from Emperor Napoleon's collection were held. Louvre director Laurence Descartes told lawmakers she offered her resignation, which was refused. She admitted there were long-standing security weaknesses, especially around the museum's perimeter. A nationwide manhunt is now underway for the suspects, and President Emmanuel Macron has called the heist a quote-unquote attack on our heritage and vows to bring the suspects behind bars. Stick around for a look into the new film and TV studio and to learn why students must now attend double the hockey games to earn a free jersey this year.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Welcome back. BU's Film and TV department is revolutionizing its curriculum to fit its newly renovated studios. Campus correspondent Afia Asamoah went to the Howard Thurman Center to grab us a closer look.
Lights, camera, action. Boston University's Film and Television Department has brought a slice of Hollywood to the Howard Thurman Center this academic year. The fifth floor of 808 Commonwealth Avenue features 2 new studios with props and camera equipment for BU's aspiring directors and cinematographers. According to Craig Shepard, chair of the Film and TV Department, the new 9,400 square foot space will replace the old department headquarters previously located at 300 Babcock Street.
But ultimately, it's a place to learn, it's a place to work, it's a place to collaborate. And on occasion, when we can fit it into the schedule, if a student wants to, shoot part of their film within the walls of that studio, it's there to support them as well.
Sarah Hussey is a junior in film and TV at BU. She says she's honed her creative skills in her cinematography classes in the new studios.
We're kind of rotating roles and being able to do different things, but we can set up sets, and there are so many lights that we can use and really create different spaces. We're given different scripts, and we can kind of create a world of our own using these studios.
The department plans to catapult film and TV studies into the future with virtual production gear like LED volume walls.
Technology is moving at such a spirited pace that you have to be able to have those components inside the walls of academia, so you can train on those, you can teach on those, and you can show the students how to utilize technology to improve their storytelling.
Behind me is Studio 518, one of the new spaces where BU students are learning the ins and outs of directing and cinematography. According to The Hollywood Reporter, BU now ranks number 16 among the top film schools in the nation. Craig Shepard says the department has been given the green light to include 2,800 more square footage of production space to this hub. And what that means is more space for students to connect, collaborate, and utilize state-of-the-art equipment. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Afia Asamoah.
Thanks, Sophia. This weekend, over 200 BU students will gather at CDS to participate in a hackathon. Hosted by BU Spark, the competition requires students to come up with innovative solutions to real-world problems. Participants will brainstorm and pitch a prototype for an app, AI agent, chatbot, or other technologies. These solutions will remedy problems in data science, AI, or public policy. Each track will have mentors from relevant organizations, notably Amazon and MassMutual. The event is open to beginners and experienced hackers alike. While hackathon is usually attended by data science majors, students of all backgrounds are encouraged to join and provide new perspectives.
Boston University's Questrom School of Business is overhauling their traditional core curriculum. Core was first integrated 30 years ago and was a combination of 4 intense classes that students typically took during their junior year. However, many students felt that they learned these skills too late and fell behind competitors when applying for internships in their freshman and sophomore years. Starting now, Questrom students have the opportunity to take these classes earlier. The new curriculum will begin with current freshmen and will be phased over in the next few years.
Christopher Chen, a distinguished professor and biomedical engineer at BU, has been elected to the National Academy of Medicine, marking one of the highest honors earned in health and science. Chen's groundbreaking research focuses on engineering and living tissues and miniature organs, working to transform how heart diseases and organ failures are treated in the future. The National Academy of Medicine is known for their top experts that shape health policy and drive medical innovation. Also from BU, President Melissa Gilliam was elected to the Academy in 2015.
BU has launched a new initiative, the Act with Consent campaign, focused on promoting consent culture on campus. Campus survivors and student groups like It's On Us are leading this initiative designed to eliminate confusion regarding what consent truly is. If you've seen posters with messages like, if you have to guess, it's not a yes, around campus, organizers say the goal is to make conversations about consent easy, inclusive, and stress-free for everyone. BU's Survivor Advocacy and Response and Prevention Center is also helping guide the project, making sure all students feel seen and supported.
The BU Athletics Department has doubled the number of hockey games students must attend to earn a free jersey, from 8 to 16. Officials say the program has been very successful, and this year they're including the nationally ranked women's team to help boost attendance. BU Dog Pound President Josh Mester said Agganis Arena even considered ending the program because of the high demand. But he believes the change will encourage students to support both teams. Freshman Ishan Sethi agreed, saying the true fans will show up. If you support BU hockey, you go to the games, jersey or not.
Last week, an intersection of different art forms came to life. Arts and entertainment correspondent Ava Mazzara gave us an inside look at BU's annual motion art performance.
Last weekend, Boston University's dance theater group collaborated with the BU Dance Program and BU Art Galleries to put on Motion Art 2025, an annual event organized by DTG. Guests were guided through an immersive, no-seating experience as artists expressed their creativity through dance, art, singing, music, poetry, and more. Nora Slayman says that dance is important because it builds community.
It gathers around all of those different artists on campus, and I think it's really important to have this event that shows how important artistic culture is on BU campus.
The arts have and continue to remain a crucial pillar for many students in college. 91% of Americans believe the arts are necessary for a well-rounded education, and 70% of adults agree that arts education improves academic performance. Alana Weil talks about how DTG supports students.
And I just think because this school is so large, the fact that we have our DTG executive board able to stay in tight communication with executive boards from other art groups on campus makes it so that we can uphold these really strong relationships and just cheer each other on as we grow as artists and students. So
As Motions 2025 has come to a close, Boston University's dance theater group continues to work on their craft with their upcoming workshops and masterclasses open to all DTG members. Reporting for Good Morning BU, I'm Eva Mazzara.
Thanks, Eva. Join us after the break to learn about the Massachusetts man who beat out 180 competitors to win an international piano competition.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back. A Massachusetts family was rescued off the shore of Cape Cod after their small boat caught on fire while they were asleep. The mother, father, and son planned to anchor between Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard for the weekend, but were forced to swim to Noshin Island after the fire broke out. They found shelter in a barn and stayed there for 30 hours. The boat's radio was later washed ashore, which the son then used to call for help from the Coast Guard. Cynthia and Tyler Sullivan, the mother and son, are being treated at Cape Cod Hospital, while Patrick Sullivan, the father, is in a burn unit at the Boston Hospital. Cynthia remains in critical condition.
A man was fatally shot in a Jamaica Plain neighborhood Wednesday evening around 5:50 p.m. The victim, whose identity has not yet been made public, was found on St. Rose Street and taken to a hospital where he later died. Witnesses said they heard at least eight gunshots. No arrests have been made at this time, and police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
Attorney General Andrea Campbell announced her 2026 re-election campaign. Campbell's first term focused on consumer protection and federal litigation. During her time in office, she sued the Trump administration almost 40 times. She created offices for gun safety enforcement, reproductive justice, and elderly justice. Republicans and the state auditor criticized her for enforcing the MBTA Communities Law, which regulates zoning for multifamily housing in areas served by the MBTA. Campbell became the first Black woman to be elected Massachusetts statewide office in 2022 and has previously served as the Boston City Councilor and Deputy Legal Counsel to the previous governor. She said in her campaign announcement, quote unquote, "Our work is far from done."
The suspect accused of stabbing the former mayor of Fall River earlier this week has undergone a mental health evaluation. 31-year-old Corey Gonzalez is accused of stabbing Will Flanagan on Monday night near the dispensary Flanagan owns. The attack was caught on surveillance video. Gonzalez has a criminal history dating back more than a decade. He currently faces 4 counts of assault and battery on a police officer. Bristol County District Attorney Thomas Quinn called this, quote, "an extremely serious and disturbing case." Gonzalez will spend 20 days at Bridgewater State Hospital for the evaluation.
Moving up north, former Senator John E. Sununu announced his re-election campaign to represent New Hampshire in the United States Senate in 2026. He is seeking the seat of retiring Senator Jeanne Shaheen, who won in the 2008 Senate race. Sununu criticized the recent government shutdown and the Trump administration.
Well, Washington, as anyone who observes can see, is a little dysfunctional right now. I mean, there's yelling, there's inactivity, we've got a government shutdown, and look, friends, family, they always say, why would anyone want to work there? And the short answer is, it's important to New Hampshire.
He will likely face New Hampshire Representative Chris Pappas, the current frontrunner for the state's Democratic primary.
New data has shown that Boston is slow to follow other major cities in the transition to working back in the office. Office foot traffic in Boston has reportedly grown 9.7% compared to the national post-pandemic average of 13%. San Francisco and Atlanta are leading the year-over-year growth, and Washington, D.C. and Miami have placed lower than Boston. Many Massachusetts companies are reshaping their remote and hybrid work policies. But office visits are looking up as companies like Hasbro and Lego move their headquarters to different locations across the city.
Bedford, Massachusetts native Eric Liu won the International Chopin Piano Competition on Monday. The 27-year-old pianist was up against 180 performers in the Warsaw on the anniversary of the Polish composer's death, with the competition focusing almost entirely on his works. This year was not Liu's first competition. He placed 5th at the age of 17, and he won the Leeds International Piano Competition when he was 20. As part of his winnings, Liu will receive approximately $69,000 and a gold medal.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a time dedicated by Americans across the nation to early detection and support. GMBU's Kara Mim attended Boston's 33rd annual Making Strides Against Cancer event and spoke to one woman whose rare diagnosis led her to attend an event hundreds of miles away from home.
In a sea of pink along the Charles River Esplanade, everyone walks with someone in mind. Many women even walk for themselves.
You know, I'm trying to, of course, hide my pain in front of my friends and family, but it's pain you cannot describe. It's loss that you're not being prepared for.
3 years ago, Dr. Charlotte de Broadbent's career hit new heights. At 34 years old, a job promotion in the digital supply chain industry brought her to Boston. 6 weeks later, Charlotte was diagnosed with the second known case of a rare breast cancer.
No one ever in my family experienced cancer before. I've never even met anybody with cancer in my life.
Within hours of the diagnosis, her doctors rushed to start chemotherapy, leaving Charlotte to decide on receiving treatment in Boston instead of returning home to Switzerland.
The hospital afterwards made a poster case study about it just because we were tapping in the unknown and we couldn't use the ordinary treatment. We had to imitate clinical trials for this very, very rare cancer.
The National Breast Cancer Foundation says that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. In 2025 alone, that's over 300,000 people. The Trump administration terminated over $1.8 billion in grant money in May, affecting research leading up to clinical trials. Researchers say that rare cancers, like Charlotte's, require continued study so that survival rates for future patients can be improved. Harvard cancer researcher Dr. Joan Brugge says some advancements are now in jeopardy.
It doesn't just affect the institution. It has really significant effects on the American public. And, so we want to avoid there being political issues that are interfering with research.
Early detection saves lives. Early detection would have prevented me from having had this diagnosis.
For Good Morning BU, I'm Kara Mim.
Coming up, our sports correspondents are live in the studio to give us a preview of the World Series. Stay tuned.
Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back. Our sports correspondent, Hannah Connors, is in the studio with us today to tell us about the biggest baseball championship of the year.
Thanks, Natalie. The World Series is in full swing with Game 1 of the Best of 7 series starting tonight in Toronto as the LA Dodgers are looking to defend their title against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Dodgers' road to the series was smooth sailing after sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS. Two words helped the Dodgers prevail through the postseason: Shohei Ohtani. The two-way player has posted a .292 batting average and a .94 whip in the last 7 games. On the Blue Jays side, they boast Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who has a rocket of a hit. The Blue Jays do have a challenge at hand as they just finished their series against the Seattle Mariners, which took 7 games to decide the winner. Buckle up. With star power on both sides, the series promises fireworks from the first pitch. Now, I'll pitch it back to the desk.
The Women's Professional Baseball League is officially stepping up to the plate, announcing its 4 inaugural teams in Boston, New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles for its debut season. This marks the first women's pro baseball organization since the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which disbanded in 1954. Tryouts took place over the summer, and now the top 100 players are moving on to the next month's draft. The league was co-founded by Justine Siegel, the first female coach in the MLB who previously worked with the Oakland's A's.
Coveted former Bruins captain Brad Marchand made his return to TD Garden for the first time since being traded to the Florida Panthers back in March. Marchand played 16 seasons with the Bruins, including 3 Stanley Cup appearances. Boston fans welcomed him back with an emotional video honoring his tenure with the team. Fans erupted in chants showing their appreciation, despite him now playing for one of the team's biggest rivals. Marchand recorded 2 assists in his return to top the Bruins.
How far are you willing to travel to play the sport you love? For this BU club hockey player, it's over 1,300 miles. Interview correspondent Cameron Morales caught up with the BU transfer to see how the sport has shaped his life.
To basketball.
The Boston University Men's Club ice hockey team welcomes transfer student from University of Mississippi, Andrew Larkin. Larkin has grown up with hockey ever since he can remember.
I started playing hockey when I was 7 years old.
Although hockey is not big in Louisville, Kentucky, where Larkin is from, going to hockey games with his father and playing all throughout high school kept it in his life. Being on the club hockey team has helped Larkin make a smooth transition from his prior school, Ole Miss, to Boston University.
Yeah, so I was on the team at Ole Miss. It was very different from here because the rink was an hour-and-a-half drive from campus, and they were pretty late at night, so we'd be getting back to our dorms about like 1:30. Yeah, that was definitely a difference here because, it's a 5-minute walk from my apartment.
For Larkin, the BU club hockey team promises friendship and adventure as he navigates this new city to call home. For Good Morning BU, I'm Cameron Morales.
Thank you, Cameron. Stay with us after the break to hear about the things to do in Boston this weekend and an interview with the co-presidents of BU's Outing Club.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back. It's getting cold out there, so here is Francis Palacios to heat things up with this weekend's roundup.
All right, let's get it moving and start the Halloween season with a tail-wagging good time as downtown Boston celebrates the 11th annual Doggone Halloween this Saturday. If you want something more thrilling and daunting, step into the Anchor at Charlestown for a spine-chilling night like no other with a Nightmare in the Navy Yard. Coming up this Sunday, the New England Patriots take on the Cleveland Browns at the Gillette Stadium at 1 p.m. End the weekend with a quirky trivia night at the Charles Hotel, Harvard Square. Test your knowledge from obscure facts to pop culture. And the best thing, it's free. That's it for the weekend roundup. This is Francis Palacios.
Thanks, Francis. Speaking of other fun fall activities, joining us today are co-presidents of the Boston University Outings Club, George Daly and Jess Lehman. The BU Outing Club runs all year long, even in the dead of Boston winter, and has about 600 members. The couple dozen of trip leaders take members on more than just hikes. Their activities are wide-ranging from pumpkin picking to Freedom Trail rocks to camping in Acadia National Park. Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So I was wondering, so I know you guys offer a lot of outings. So how has the Outings Club improved your guys' college experience here at BU?
The Outing Club's been a huge part of my BU experience. It's where I've met most of my closest friends here at BU. There's nothing quite like going on a full day adventure, climbing a mountain, driving 8 hours all over New Hampshire, that really bonds people together. So that's been a huge part of my life, and it's great to see the kind of the following generations, the freshmen, making friends on Outing Club trips.
Awesome. What about you, George?
Yeah, it's exactly the same for me. I met all of my closest friends at the Outing Club. We spend time together even outside of the trips, which is insane. And it's incredibly rewarding to see people making friends on trips and then showing up to meetings with the friends that they just made and seeing that the cycle continues and people are making friends through the club.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for this weekend, what trips do you guys have going out?
We have quite a varied assortment of trips. We have a backpacking trip going out that I'm leading. That's a long hike in New Hampshire. There's a short day hike to Lonesome Lake in New Hampshire. There's a pumpkin and apple picking trip to a family farm in Massachusetts. And then Jess is leading a canoeing trip.
Awesome, you guys. So how can people join? Do you guys have like an Instagram, or like how can people get involved with Outing Club?
Yeah. Well, we'd love for you to show up to our meetings every Monday at 8 p.m. in Sci 109. We always have like fun activities, so you can learn about our upcoming trips, but also like meet people and hang out and do an activity together. But the most important thing is to join our mailing list. That'll have all the info for the upcoming trips. And check out our Instagram at BU Outing Club, and in the link tree there, you can join the mailing list.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. That's going to do it for us this week at Good Morning BU. I'm Natalie Lett. Stay safe and have a great weekend.